Okay, so today what we're going to be doing is taking a look at the NC3D Customs by Semapo and comparing them to the Chinese combat pants, as they call them, in the Gen 3. So before I start this video, I will give you a disclaimer that neither one of these pants are mil-spec grade pants. They are both intended for airsoft, probably based on stitching and a few other things that, just don't stand up to military needs. Now on the left you're going to see the Semapo pants at a Generation 2 with the elastine area around the knee, and then on the right you're going to see that Chinese brand in the Gen 3 model with just the basic multicam style fabric. Alright, so let's hop into this review, and I'll move the Chinese brand out of the way for a second. And we'll go over the Semapo Gen 2s. Now, the Semapo Gen 2s are a fantastic pair of pants. Before I even start, I gotta say, I give my pants a fair trial, at least 3 to 6 months, and I've had these now for about 3 months, and I've worn them pretty much every time that I play or go out. One thing that I want to cover is that these are either a legitimate Crye multicam or very close, because they have a legitimate multicam tag over here on the left cargo pocket. This is basically infamous with anything Crye or anything genuine multicam. So, that kind of gives you some reassurance that you're getting a product that's, up to par, at least on the camo chart. Alright, so what I'm going to do first is I'll go over the top line and then kind of work our way down this style of pants. So, moving my rigger's belt out of the way, what you're going to see here is the hook and loop Velcro closure for your waist. Now this is a little bit wider than some of the competitor brands, but this is nothing new for a mil-spec grade. It's about the same size, about 1.5 inches maybe, about 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches maybe. But it's got really good loop and really good hook. I mean, you can hear the hook side, so I mean you're not going to have to worry about your pants falling off. The other nice thing that they've done is they've included this YKK zipper. One thing that a lot of people don't consider when buying a pair of pants is this zipper. Okay, this zipper system is extremely important because it also helps hold up your pants, and obviously doesn't allow anything in that you don't want to go in. So basically, this is a 32 regular, but it fits more like a 30-31 regular. So if you're kind of in between sizes, go up to the next size. For example, I wear between like a 32, maybe 33 on some days. This fits perfect, but sometimes it's a little bit more snug than I would like. So with that being said, it's always a good idea to maybe go up a size and just use a belt, because the pants really don't get much longer as you get wider. So I'll put this belt back in here real quick, and I'll show you the belt loops. Now the belt loops are a 2-inch belt loop with great bar tack stitching. Bar tack stitching is usually what you find between like PALS webbing on your 500D or even sometimes 1000D Cordura vest. This is basically what holds the MOLLE system in place, so it makes it load bearing. You can pull pretty hard on these and that's not going anywhere, it's not going to rip or tear. So that's really good. The fact that it's a 2-inch belt loop, that's also really good. So it allows you to run a variety of belts through there. So you don't have to go with just like a regular pants belt. You can run a rigger's belt with the actual retention ring. Moving down, you're going to go into your front pockets. They're pretty spacious, standard front pockets. On the fronts of the pants, before I go to the cargo, you have the general purpose or slap charge pouch. You can use these for anything. I mean, most people find these like a miscellaneous pouch or just never use them ever. Nothing wrong there. The Velcro on these is pretty rigid. I mean, it's not going to rip off. The stitching on this is pretty good. What I'll do is I'll just flip it over to this side real quick. The cargo pocket area is actually kind of nice because, as you can see from the leg, it actually starts on the side of the leg. Some of the competitor brands, they'll start more to the left or more to the right. This actually starts right on the side. So opening this up, you have this really nice big spacious cargo pocket area, which obviously will expand due to the pleated stitching. You can see that there is some stitching in between. Some of the stitching is pulling loose a little bit, and I don't really think that that's anything to worry about necessarily, because like I said, I've run these things through the gauntlet, so to speak, when I tested these, and they've held up extremely well, just as I would expect from my Crye G3s or even my Crye G2s. that I have. So I'm not going to compare these, however, to Cry because people have already done that, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse, so to speak. If you need to check these out versus Cry, go right to YouTube, type in Cry, NC Gen 2 compared to Semapo Gen 2, whatever, and it'll show up. So flipping these back over, you'll have these nice knee pad pockets. Now these have quite a bit of stretch, so I'll get a close-up of this so that way you can see it. These actually do stretch quite a bit, giving them the 3D name. Now the nice thing about having these stretch is that you can go from a standing to a kneeling or even strafing position really easily, and this pant and this knee pad are all going to move together with you. The other cool thing is if you notice, these are actually really deep pockets, so these will accommodate the Real Cry Airflex pads, not airframe. So if you need to run the Real Cry Airflex pads in here, you can. And then down towards the bottom, you have another slap charge pouch or general purpose pouch or whatever you want to call it. And then the very, very bottom, you have this cinch strap. Now this cinch strap is going to be used for either one of two things: just closing the bottom of your pants so bugs don't crawl up it, or making sure that you're not walking on your pants. Now flipping these over, there's not a whole lot to say about the backs other than they have kind of done something neat that not a lot of other companies do. They've given you some space in between the top of the pant and the actual belt. So there's about a good inch, maybe inch and a quarter from the top of the pant all the way down. They did this for comfort so that way your belt doesn't actually dig into your back, which is kind of nice. Another thing is they put some stretch material here again, pretty stretchy stuff. So that way it'll allow for a squatting position, and that way you don't have to worry about your pants ripping out. Now on the back, you're going to notice that they have the same knee cinch system as the Cry NC pants. I can't really say that these are NC pants because there's a lot of other divisions that use them, such as like some of the Rangers, the DEA teams. I think even some of the Air Force is using this exact pant. Well, Cry's exact pant, not Semapo, but they're labeled the NC Custom. So basically, the only other thing I have to show you is the depth of the back pocket. Now these things are deep. I'm going to move my paracord bracelet out of the way here. Alright, and I'm going to show you that these back pockets are really, really, really deep. I can go pretty much halfway down the cargo pocket area, and I'm now at the bottom. So that's a lot of room. You can put an extra magazine, water bottle, or whatever you want in there. If you put your wallet in there, it's going to sink all the way down to your legs, so just be kind of cognizant of that when wearing these. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to move these out of the way real quick.